All right, hello, welcome to Adventures on Lollygagging and Friends. We are here playing Monster of the Week tonight. We are continuing, well, starting up, really, our family Splatters campaign. We did our session 0. We made our monster hunters. We learned about the wonder and glory that is Muriel Theodore, Grandma Muriel, who was cruelly murdered by a Dr. Krepiskel or something, and left these children to sort of follow in her footsteps as family of monster hunters, with dear family friend, basically an extra cousin, and Tony to kind of come along as well. Oh my God, we lost Chuck. Chuck is back. Okay, there he is.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's too busy.
My bad.
On a golfing weekend, apparently.
Yeah. That's it.
What's going on? Thank you already to a bunch of people in chat who have been dropping some bits for us. Yeah. It's very kind. We are going
complications for you.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Which I have been cashing in something fierce and wondering lately. I nearly did a TPK on Saturday, and like the second, it was really close, and it was a relatively mild encounter. That
it didn't end up that way.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So anyhow, so this is our first full scenario session. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna try. This is not gonna be easy for me because I'm terrible at pacing. But I'm going to try to make sure that each session is its own self-contained episode. Like that's kind of what I want it to be. So normally when you're building scenarios for Monster of the Week, there's like a countdown. You don't plan everything out. You just kind of do a countdown of like 6 events. I've shortened that just to see if it works for 2 hours. So we'll see how it goes. But that's basically it. So a couple other things before we get started. This is, I think we said late 80s, early 90s. We didn't really set a specific time, and I don't really want to. So let's just say late 80s, early 90s. Let's not be too specific with it. But that's basically where we're at. So you're not going to see like avid use of, you're not going to use like cell phones are not a thing. But you will, you will get various references maybe to early 90s music and late 80s music, but it's all kind of the same. And we are using a team playbook, which I have given everybody, the home away from home, which is your basic move for now. But we are always on the road. That is a team playbook that you all use. And remember that after the session, you guys will answer some questions, get some XP, et cetera, et cetera. Some of that can go towards developing your team and getting more resources and allies and stuff like that. But that's that. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get started. We're not going to do like just flat intros. We'll do intros in scene. As you all recently, well, actually, let me ask you this: what was your last hunt? What did you kill, or what did you take care of? What was your last hunt?
Well, I don't know if I can speak for the entirety of the party, but my personal last hunt is there was a new set of New Balance that was on sale at the local mall. That was my last hunt. I got to tell you, buddy, that place, it was packed for a Saturday afternoon.
I kind of remember like Corbin, we went to hunt at a house. We got this amulet. It was cool.
Okay, I'm really glad I asked that question. Now,
what if the shoes were like the? What do you call those treasure chests that eat things? Like they fake being one thing, but they're actually
dude,
Mimic.
it's a mimic.
What if they were mimic sneakers that were eating people's feet in the mall?
Okay, so you guys have just finished up within the last few hours, taking out a mimic footlocker that somehow had grown to immense size and nested within a West Texas mall. And it was it's the late 1980s, so the malls are big and huge, and so it had gotten through quite a few. So you guys have been, you guys were relaxing and all that kind of stuff, and doing such wonderful work when you get a phone call. But not like a phone call directly to anyone's service or stuff like that. You just kind of check in maybe with a phone service. You check in every now and then with a random a random answering machine you leave somewhere that you can check from time to time. And you see that you have a message. You have a message from an old friend. It's more of an old friend of your grandmother's. Some might say an old lover, probably an old lover. A man by the name of Jesse Chavez. He's retired, but he took back up the mantle of hunting after the relatively recent death of Grandma Muriel. And you're not entirely sure when the message was left, but you know it was sometime within the past week, because that was the last time you checked. And he mentioned something about having a lead on that murderous son of a bitch, Dr. Krepiskel, whatever the hell his name is. I'm going to change it every time. And apparently that he was some kind of lab, something or whatever, in this out of the way town off in New Mexico by the name of Mountain Willow. And he says, when you guys can, hustle your asses over to Mountain Willow. Now it's kind of an out of the way place, but he leaves you directions to a diner called Ned's off of, we'll say I-75, which back in the late 80s wasn't as robust as it is now. So we're going to say that you all, have like this little scene of you guys coming out of the Foot Locker with brand New Balance, whatever. You guys get in your vehicles, you're driving and speeding across West Texas over into New Mexico. And it's sometime very late at night where we see the flickering neon sign of Ned's Diner. We see you all in your various vehicles, which you'll be able to describe in a moment. Go inside, take a booth, and kind of wait around for Jesse Chavez to come find you. So we're going to do this one by one. Phil, a couple questions for you.
You got it, buddy.
What vehicle do we see Phil exit when he gets into the Ned's Diner? And then what does he do? What does he order when he gets into Ned's Diner?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I had to go something that got good mileage, plenty of leg room. So we're looking at a very late 80s, early 90s Astro van, that nice maroon coloring, got a pair of fuzzy dice over the mirror.
Okay.
It's a fantastic little vehicle.
All right. So you hop on out. What do we see when we see Phil hop out of the van and go into the diner? Describe him briefly for us.
Yeah, you see Phil hop on out. New pair of New Balance shoes on. Some nice jeans. Polo shirt, maybe like powdered blue, something like that. Definitely tucked in, respectable.
Okay.
Thick mustache. Head on in. Get some coffee, and some eggs, and some bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's middle of the night, but it's one of those types of diners where you can kind of go at any point. Order some coffee, sit down, etc. Next, we see popping out of a vehicle. We see Corbin Redding. So, Jeremy, tell us what we see when Corbin Redding hops out of a vehicle. Tell us what vehicle he hops out of, and tell us what he does when he heads into the diner.
Yeah, Corbin doesn't drive. Corbin called shotgun in Phil's vehicle, which he hates, but at least he's riding shotgun. Corbin is very tall and lanky and gaunt. He's got pale skin, long dark hair, dressed completely in black boots, black leather pants that look like they're a size too small, black untucked shirt that's rolled up so you can see like the horned serpent tattoos on his arms. And he doesn't order any food. He just gets coffee and cigarettes.
And it's 1990. And so smoking,
black nail polish
is totally fine inside this restaurant. So you're just lighting it up. Ashtrays there.
They'll have those like cigarette machines with like the whole thing at the bottom.
They're right there when you walk in the door. You grab whatever kind you want. Not only that, but you really kind of have the place to yourself. There's maybe like one or two, long haul truckers that are up at the diner counter. And you got like one waitress who's coming and going. You can see there's a heavy set dude, greasy apron in the back doing the cooking. It's not a jukebox as much as it's just a radio sitting on the window between the kitchen in sort of that countertop area, and it's just playing some kind of late night radio, like nothing special. And you hear it, like you hear these long 45-minute clips of usually classic rock. There's like a little Fleetwood Mac action going on right now, and that's about it. And it's kept at a modest level, and no one really seems to be too upset about it. We turn back to for a moment, and we see coming out next, we see old Antoni Bankowski. So Burr, what vehicle does Antoni get out of? What does he look like? And what does he order when he goes into the diner?
Oh, he gets out of a cab, a really low price cab, sketchy at best. He's got a suit on that's about 20 years out of date, but he's wearing a very fashionable hat. He likes lots of tweed. He likes tweed and polyester.
Okay.
He tips the guy, all in change.
Okay.
Looks around, straightens his tie, which he did himself.
Sure. Jeremy. Okay.
Checks the address, but being the paranoid that he is, before he goes into the diner, he takes a walk around the block.
Okay. Is there anything in
And then
particular
goes in.
you're looking for as you walk around the block?
Just anything suspicious. Look where the
Oh, yeah.
exits are. Look to see if anyone's watching the place.
Yeah. Go ahead and let's go ahead and do investigate a mystery or read a bad situation. It's not really a bad situation, but go ahead and roll a sharp.
I'll do just get a mystery here.
Yeah. Let us know how you do.
All right. So I rolled a 5.
Okay.
a miss.
That is a miss. That is a miss. So basically, you look around. You notice that there's a couple of these. There's a pair of these semi haulers kind of off to the side a bit. You are on a relatively dead strip right off the highway. It very much looks like it just caters to truckers and folks like yourselves. You do see that there's maybe two other establishments anywhere close, and one of them's a gas station. So this is really, so it's kind of like a dead little area just off the highway here. You see a couple folks milling about. One person kind of gets in a vehicle and leaves. Another person goes into the diner. But no one really pays you too much mind, and there's really nothing that kind of catches your attention.
Any
beyond
bums?
that.
Anybody panhandling?
Oh yeah, of course. I would say not so much panhandling, but you can definitely see there's someone who's posted up in the back alley behind the diner, and they're like kind of just.
All right. So it's Anton. He dropped the I to be more American.
Okay.
Go over. If the guy's got a little hat out or a little please help sign, he'll take his roll of dollars, because Anton believes in coins. Dollars are unreal. They're not a real currency. It's all coins. He takes a couple of dollar coins, puts it in the cup or hat, tips his hat, and says, it's always good to give to the more unfortunate, because you never know when you're going to be that unfortunate.
Guy opens up his eyes. He's got really big eyes.
Oh, I get
Just look
right
up at him.
down to his level and just look right into his eyes as I drop those dollars into his.
Leans back. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
You're not one of them, are you? You don't smell
Which
like
of them
one
are
of
we talking about? Are you talking about the reptile thems? Or are you talking about the gray thems?
And he's like, as he's going to point at the sky, and you mention what he says, he's like, so you know. And he kind of tips a cap as if like he's meeting somebody else who knows. Like, so you know, they're in charge around here. The scaly ones. Be careful.
Thanks for the tip. I'll drop another $1.
Okay. We'll cut back. Okay, and we'll cut back. We'll see. Getting out of the vehicles, we got Donna. Melissa, what does Donna look like? What vehicle does she get out of? And what does she do when she first arrives? What does she order? That kind of thing.
So Donna drives her pickup truck. And so this is an 80s pickup truck that has like the camper cap on the back. And so when she gets out, assuming that she's kind of the last one out of her vehicle, this is, just in the days of physical keys, you don't have a clicker kind of a thing. And so she is definitely going around the truck and making sure that the driver door is locked and the passenger door is locked and the cap is locked, kind of double checking all of the car locks. Looking at her, she's a little bit kind of tall, average, dark hair and a ponytail. And she looks like someone who is going hiking or camping or hunting for the first time. And she went to like Cabela's and REI and like decked herself out like head to toe in stuff that seems I'm going to go on a fight appropriate. So boots and hat and GPS watch and the whole 9 yards. She looks a little overdone in trying to be tough.
So when she hops into she walks into the diner, you've got Phil, who is eating some eggs, drinking some coffee. Corbin's already lit up, drinking some coffee as well. Anton's doing his thing. Always has to come in his own cab. Always has to go and circle around the damn diner every single time. But he'll join in a moment. You know that. So what does Donna do?
So Donna comes in and she is going to order some coffee, and she's looking for some kind of a patty melt kind of a
yeah, sure,
food.
It's a diner. They have that. Absolutely. Not an issue.
Seems appropriate.
The older waitress woman's like, I'll take care. Thank you, sweetheart. And she's like, I'm fine. Patty melt. And he's like, what? Can't hear you. Patty melt. What? Patty melt. Okay, I got you. And they just kind of scream back and forth with one another over top of the Fleetwood Mac. Okay.
And if I could trouble you for a strawberry milkshake with that, please. Thank you.
She looks at you, suddenly getting all serious. Why'd you say strawberry?
Well, because usually in an establishment like this, you actually drop some fresh strawberries in, and it just makes the milkshake when you get little chunks of strawberry in it.
What do you mean, an establishment like this?
I mean, diners. It's where you get the best milkshakes. You can go through a drive-through and it's going to be fine, but half the time the shake machine is down anyway. So diners, it's where you get fantastic milkshakes.
Darling, your whole look and what's coming out of your mouth doesn't seem to align with it, but I'll get you your dang milkshake. And she looks disgusted and walks away.
And that is very much Donna, because she definitely had more of a kind of white collar job before becoming the wronged individual. And so, yes, that discrepancy is very much what I was going for.
And then finally, we see Caleb Redding, last to get out, last to come in. Adam, what does Caleb look like? Where does he come out from? What does he do once he arrives at the diner?
So Caleb turns over and tries to get out of the vehicle and can't, and then starts pounding on the window of the truck that Donna locked up, and kind of sits there for a moment and then unlocks it and gets out and closes the door without locking it. And just kind of, he's wearing black, and he's got some blue hair in weird spots, and he looks like he's confused. He doesn't know whether he's a mod or a punk or a goth. It looks like he just saw what was on MTV and kind of matched all of that. Doesn't really, not that great at seeing different, groups. And so he just kind of, maybe a little taken after his older brother too, with wearing the black and stuff. He thinks that's cool. And just kind of wanders over and just opens the door to the diner by putting his weight into it, and stumbles in and walks over to the table where everybody's at, and his coffee. Yeah. So that's like pretty much it. He's there to get his coffee.
So the waitress comes over, fills up your coffees again, replaces, maybe sets a pot there since there's so many of you. She kind of looks down. Is there anything else I can get you? And she slides Donna's milkshake over with fresh strawberries in it, kind of giving you a look as she does so. Anything else?
Toast,
What's that?
Spam, and 2 eggs.
Toast, spam, 2 eggs. Yes, yes, sir. You write
Hash
down.
browns.
Hash browns. Okay,
Yeah.
I can do that. No problem. Hash browns. Sure. You want any like eggs or anything with it? Just a hash brown?
Oh yeah. No, eggs too.
You want some like bacon or some sausage?
Bacon. Yeah, sausage. That's
Some
all
bacon.
good.
All of it? You want both bacon and sausage? Is that right,
Uh-huh.
sweetie?
Yeah.
Bacon and sausage, hash browns and eggs. Okay. All right. I can take care of that for you. You still gonna just drink coffee and smoke your cigarettes there, young man?
Yes.
You want to eat anything?
I'd
Hey,
love to hear
Cook.
something else on the jukebox.
Corbin, you want some of my bacon?
Just
You
give
know-
me some bacon and then put it on his plate.
He acts like he's not hungry. Go ahead and get him some pancakes. He'll appreciate it later.
Yeah,
Don't-
flapjacks.
thank you. Yes, I want to just shove all the wheat in my face. That's exactly what I need. Great. Thanks, Phil.
You know, and you really
Mhm.
should
You got
stay
it,
to the
buddy.
canned meat. The canned meat's irradiated so that the brain parasites that the government mind control you with don't get into your body. Canned meat.
Donna's just going to
Only
look at the
way to be
waitress.
sure.
I think we're good with the order. Thank you.
She's writing everything down. She seems not even remotely nonplussed by anything Anton's saying and all. She's just kind of nodding along. Absolutely. And then Corbin, you say, I'd like to hear something else in the jukebox. She kind of looks down at you, has that similar dirty look that Donna was getting. And then just like that, the radio changes and you hear just like a news jockey kind of comes on and you just hear this report. And it's just like, still no leads on the dead body found along I-75, drained of all of its blood. No ID, no identification either. We've got the sheriff's department is certainly looking for any kind of leads that they can possibly get. If you have any information, and it kind of like rattles off basic like tip number, like an 800 tip number, that kind of thing. And then you just hear like, this is the third disappearance in about a week now. And so everyone says, stay off the roads, be careful at night, and make sure you travel in packs. All right, now we're going to get back to a new oldie. And it's like, a song from the 70s, whatever. Okay, so. And so she like kind of starts walking. Yeah. Yeah, you just Blue Oyster Cult comes on for a little while. And she waddles away.
Huh.
Caesar's for the Reaper.
Well, I got to tell you, that news report, that was disturbing there, friends. Do you have any idea of how hard it is to get a replacement driver's license if you've lost yours?
Yeah.
Phil,
I don't have a license.
How
You know
How
they
does that
track you
relate
with those
to the-
licenses.
does it? Please tell me that connects somehow to what we're talking about here. She sort of looks impatiently at her brother. Please tell me that connects to the news that we just heard.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. But Corbin was just about to tell us about that, so I'd really hate to interrupt him.
Why are you putting words in my mouth?
So what were you saying there, buddy?
In my face?
Yeah. You listen, you need a little meat on your bones. You're looking a little thin. Your mom wouldn't be thrilled if I let you just head out on the road and waste away like Caleb over here.
Okay. I'm gonna avoid the easy path here, Mr. Porkins, and just gonna move on.
How?
Yeah, we're all on the road. This is not the best. We're not making salads at home anymore. This is not what we do. But there's 3 disappearances and a body on I-75, drained of blood. Is this assuming why we're here?
Inbound's pulled out a notepad, starting to take down. Pours
Okay.
everybody some coffee.
I'm gonna take out my tape recorder and start recording the song that's on the
Should
jukebox.
we start
Okay.
with old business first? I think we can put paid to the man eating shoes. We all agreed that was a good case.
Mhm.
We can stamp that one as solved.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very much solved.
I got new
Yeah.
shoes.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
so new business.
All right.
So the waitress comes back after a few minutes. She's got all those of you ordered. She's kind of put some stuff down. She's like, okay, all this on one check.
Yes, that's fine. Yes.
Okay, all right. Who's going to go ahead and be paying for that?
I got
Caleb
it.
just
I got
looks
it.
at Corbin.
So she like writes it off, and then and she's just, but you just take your time, no rush at all. Whenever you're ready, I can take you up at the counter there, and just slides this over to Donna.
While we have you here, I've just heard that on the radio about there's some disappearances.
Oh yeah, that's true. There have been. I mean, there's always been disappearances in these parts, to be honest, but never really in such kind of close and steady frequency as we've had of late.
Are they? Do you know anything? Do you know any of the people that went missing?
Oh no, I don't necessarily know everybody. See, it's on a stretch of road that kind of heads up into the mountains a ways. He said I-75. That's not entirely true. Kind of heads up towards Mountain Willow, and that's kind of up by the observatory and whatnot, and all sorts of strange things go on there. But you stay down here, darling, you'll be just fine. You don't want to go up that route. That route it's where all the abductions and such take place.
Abductions?
Oh yeah. The folk come down from the sky with the big old eyes and the scaly skin. They just kind of take people up, and that's that. They usually don't leave them with no blood or nothing. So that's kind of a new thing, but it happens.
Well, I mean, that does spin a brand new yarn on this tale, I think. But the whole like no blood thing. Is that why you were so upset about the strawberry milkshake? Did they take your strawberries too?
No, I just didn't really want to go cutting strawberries. That's all. It's like 11 o'clock at night.
That's fair. I can respect that.
So 2 questions.
It's 11 p.m.
Yes, it is.
What's your
darling.
pie of the day?
Oh, cherry.
And how do you feel about vampires?
How do I feel about well, first of all, cherry, and it's delicious. And how do I feel about vampires? Vampires don't exist. Don't be silly. Come on.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
Is your soft serve machine working?
Of course, our soft serve machine is working.
Just want to make sure.
What kind of place
'Cause
do
I
you
think
think
some-
this is?
Listen, I just wanted to ask because some cherry pie and some ice cream. That sounds really good.
But I just gave you the check and everything. I asked if you wanted anything, and no one said anything else, and so I wrote the check out. So now I got to write out a whole other check. No, fine. I'll go get you a damn cherry pie with your special little soft serve ice cream.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
She wanders off, kind of just cursed under her breath and everything.
Oh,
But she's-
miss.
Yes,
Miss-
sir.
You never answered Anton's question. How do vampires correlate with your cherry pie?
What? I
I
answered
think
his
that's
questions.
what he asked.
No, he asked me.
Oh, did he?
He asked
I'm
me
sorry.
what-
I started
what's
thinking
the
about
pie
cherry
of the
pie with
day?
ice cream.
Which I asked, and then I answered, and then it said, "How do I feel about vampires?" Which I also answered.
I actually go through my notebook and I read off exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's my bad. I started thinking about cherry pie and ice cream and just spaced.
It's understandable. So she
Thank
walks
you.
off again, and she starts getting you your damn cherry pie, ice cream, etc.
Well, I'm going to have to leave a very large tip here.
Oh, I've got it. Pull out a roll of $50, $10.
Well,
So-
we're not coming back to Ned's.
We were told to come here up the mountain.
Yeah.
Looks like we figured out why.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go take care of some business.
Need
Well,
help,
don't
buddy?
strain too hard.
I won't. God, don't make it weird.
Just
Need to go
listen.
stare in a toilet for a second. Leave me alone. God.
So Jeff, is this kind of like a local diner or like one of these diners off the interstate?
It's a diner off an interstate for sure. Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely transient.
Sometimes they've got like like boards up for local people to post stuff. I'm going to go see if they've got one and just kind of scan it, see if there's anything interesting.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
think
lots
you
of
need to-
lost pets, anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Sure. I don't think you need to do a roll for this because you're not really under pressure or anything here. So, but you do see there are a handful of sort of missing, like it's exactly what you're thinking. Like there's a handful of missing, it's mostly missing people. There's an occasional missing pet here or there. You don't think there's like an extremely close neighborhood, but there are some missing folks, some runaways, some last seen in the area types. There's definitely a handful of those.
Okay. Yeah. I pull out my micro cassette recorder and just like on 2 weeks ago, missing on, just, and just read it all off into my recorder.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, actually, why don't you roll an investigative mystery? Because you might be able to get a hold. You might be able to get some extra stuff too. So yeah, give it a roll.
Ooh.
Okay.
8.
All right. So
Hey,
Hold one. Yeah.
okay. So you can hold one, and also you do notice that there, basically everybody who has kind of gone missing that you can tell. Like there's definitely references to people who have gone missing, but none of them seem to be locals. They all seem to be people kind of passing by or passing through. So that's definitely something you noticed. And you do see that like most of the time it's like traveling alone. You haven't really everyone's kind of like a lone traveler in some way.
Okay.
And there's no specific like age range. It's not just like all kids, it's not just all women. It's kind of an array. Just seems like lone travelers.
Okay.
Let's kick over to Corbin. Corbin, you were going into the bathroom.
Yes. This isn't weird at all.
No.
Corbin takes a couple of like those little mini red candles that he has tucked away in pockets that it doesn't make sense that he could fit anything in these pockets. But he'll take them out and he'll use his lighter to kind of melt the wax a little bit and make weird little sigils all around the toilet seat. Make the magic marks, staring down into the water to start his divination ritual. At which point he'll start playing the Blue Oyster Cult, but he'll play the music backwards because we all know you can get strange magical messages when you play the music backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll kind of hum and sing along to it backwards as well, and his eyes will kind of roll back into his head as he flushes the toilet and stares into the swirling water, now surrounded by the sigils with the chanting backwards. And he'll just focus on them talking about like these strange people that grab people, the bloodless bodies, the mountains, and just see what he can see in this toilet bowl divination.
Go. I think it's weird for you, right? So go ahead and roll that weird test.
Okay.
As you all by yourself in here. Surprisingly clean bathroom.
The good news is because this is a rote, it's a fairly controlled.
Yeah.
Did it go?
So is this like a use magic move?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's specifically though it's specific.
So the nice thing about the hex is slowly they can accumulate certain rotes that they're so familiar with that you can control what the fallout is if you fail. So like for me, the fallout on this one is it's pretty safe. About the worst things that happens to me is I don't get anything. It fizzles. If I tried to do full on scrying or something crazy like that, it would be a different story.
Cool.
So you're sitting there, you're using the toilet water, you're using the, and all of a sudden, most of the playing of the background of Blue Oyster Cult is just garbage and noise, and it sounds terrible. Then all of a sudden, you hear the familiar voice of Jesse Chavez suddenly come through, and this very mechanical kind of deadened. It's not like doesn't have the vibrancy, but you can definitely tell it's his voice, and it describes He's like, he basically says, "Hey, boys, Corbin, if you're hearing this, Dr. C had some sort of laboratory up in Mountain Willow. He may have been doing experiments on aliens or some such. The people there are kinda weird. They believe in all of it. Hope to see you soon, buddy."
Yeah. Oh, that was weird. And then he'll just come walking out as somebody else is going. He's like, "Don't go in there. It's
a big dude, flannel shirt, and he's just like, "Boy, I smell worse. Don't worry." Closes his mouth and he plunges in.
I'll just walk away as fast as possible before I hear any response for like all the melted wax and nonsense drizzled all around there."
He's like, "What kind of strange drugs you into, boys?" The door closes.
Okay, so of course Dr. C's in the mountains, and there's a bunch of locals that are buying what he's selling, and he's experimenting on aliens, and so the locals will be in on it. We could probably play off of that, I guess, or something.
So we driving up 75 tonight?
I mean, if we don't, somebody else is probably gonna get murdered, which is like not boring, but also bad.
Yes, that's what we're here to try to stop.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to be bored.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
that's okay. Let's go, guys.
Donna
yeah,
does that
hey.
really annoying thing at the bottom of the milkshake thing where she's just like, kind of sucking it all up through the straw, just like making a ton of noise.
Okay. So
I'll wait
Just
till
as the waitress
Anton.
can-
Oh, I was gonna say Anton left the roll of $50 or whatever. I'm gonna leave an actual $10 bill underneath of it too, just to.
okay, fair enough.
Can we get a box? Just to make her do one more trip.
For my ranch.
For your cigarettes and your coffee, you want a box.
My brother didn't finish all of his food.
He had pancakes too.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry that my brother's joy is the withering flower of your heart, but could you please do your job?
Oh, that was
I didn't
deep.
want food.
Wow.
I am touched.
Did you eat all your food,
Edgar
Caleb?
Allan Poe.
Caleb totally ate all of it.
Okay.
Half the
But
plate.
he
Anton is
catches,
now making.
he catches on to what Corbin's doing a little too late.
Okay.
Anton's now making the notation: do not ever order food from diner again.
All right. So you guys all hop back into your vehicles. I think I've heard there's a van and there's a truck. I think that's what we got, right?
Yeah.
So
We want a
those guys'
carpool,
van.
everyone.
Yeah.
We can all fit in the Astro van.
And
Phil, we've been over this. Everything that we need, and she aggressively winks, is in the back of the truck.
And while she's talking to Phil, like Caleb just goes and gets in the truck from the door that he left unlocked.
okay. All right.
Well, I mean, Corbin and Anton, you'll ride with me, and we'll
Yeah.
follow
Sure.
Donna up in the truck.
So you guys haul on out of Ned's diner. You look for a sign or two that kind of starts heading you towards that Mountain Willow place, and you are literally going into darkness. Like it's just like you're heading northward into who the hell knows what. It's so far. It's like nowhere close to the highway. You see some vague mountainous shapes in the distance, and you just start venturing off in that direction. As you like drive away, Anton, you see like just out of the corner of your eye as you're driving, there's the fella from the behind the diner just kind of watching and just kind of holds up a hand as you drive away, just like kind of waving goodbye. As he watches you. Yeah, as he watches like your two vehicles kind of start driving out into the darkness. Now it's extremely dark. You start losing all sense of kind of direction at a certain point. The radio kind of kicks in and kicks out every now and then. Sometimes it's playing like modern rock. Sometimes it kicks into old timey 1950s doo-wop every now and then. Suddenly there's like some random AM radio jock, and it just kind of spins around here and there. It never quite seems to fit. In addition to that, like there's no streetlights at all. You don't see turnoffs. And if you do, they're usually dirt roads. They're never paved. Like even the road you're on isn't in particularly good condition. You can see that there's an occasional sign, a highway sign here and there. Sometimes it's Mountain Willow. Sometimes it's somewhere else. Sometimes it's Roswell. Sometimes it's who knows what else. But it never really so there are times maybe you're just tired because it's super late at night, but you look up and you're like, wait, did that number go up or did that go down? At a certain point, who's driving? I think it's Donna and Phil. Just the Theodores are doing the driving.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and say both of you roll and act under pressure as there's no lights. You're just kind of following one after the other, and both of you give that a roll. You guys rolled the same
double
thing.
tens.
Look at the family.
Wow. Sibling power.
Who's the head of the caravan here?
I would say Donna, probably.
Okay. Donna, you've been driving for at least an hour from the diner, you think, and you haven't seen another car. There has not been a single other car on the road with you, coming with you, or coming back from the direction you're driving. Nothing at all. No, there's no lights in the sky. It's just kind of this vague, overcast night. And as you're just sort of drifting off and the radio's being a pain in the ass, you suddenly see giant lumps, the shadows, like in the middle of the road, and you start screeching, steering around, and suddenly you go off-road. Phil, you see Donna in the truck kind of veering off-road as well, and you manage at the last second to see the same thing that she saw, a series of these big lumps in the ground, and you kind of swing it over, and both of you with your tens are able to keep your vehicles from like rolling over, keep any harm from happening, and you notice that it was bodies in the ground, bodies in the middle of the road. As everybody now, you take your deep breaths, you bumped up for a bit, you're probably a good 15 to 20 yards off the road as it took a second to kind of slow down. And that's where you guys are at. What do you want to do?
Donna definitely did the thing where like when she's like slamming on the brakes and swerving, her like arm goes out to like pull Caleb back.
Oh yeah,
seat.
like because Caleb just like imagine this truck has no overstrap, just a waist seatbelt.
Oh yeah,
very, very possibly. And so then once we're situated, Donna definitely like had high beams on unless there was like a car coming in the opposite direction. So she's going to sort of move the pickup so that the high beams are pointed at the lumps in the road.
Okay. And you can see as you maneuver, the lumps haven't moved. And as you're looking, it looks like there are 3 human bodies in the middle of the road. They haven't moved. You didn't hit them. Neither did Phil, but they're still laying there in the middle of the road.
Well, on seeing that, I will engage the parking brake, unbuckle my 3-point seatbelt because the Astro van is all about safety.
The research
and I will hop out.
Anton just tops out. He doesn't use a safety belt because that's government propaganda.
Government propaganda. They're just trying to hold you down. Yeah, I'll hop out. There's 3 people in the middle of the road that need help here. So I am going to hustle on over thanks to Donna's high beams.
And so it's very clearly bodies in the road, right?
Very clearly bodies in the road. So they know what that means, Caleb.
Like Caleb scrambles out of the truck and like starts running towards them.
You just did not have enough meat from the diner. You've been driving for an hour. And there's something to eat here. And so you all watch as Phil and Anton hop out of the Astro van, but then Donna has Caleb outpaces everybody and starts scrambling in the direction and basically hops on one of these bodies. What else do you do?
Oh, that's right. Right. Staying alive. That's the rhythm you need to. Oh, Oh. Oh, that's cheek meat right there.
Donna would like to roll a protect someone,
I mean,
which is to prevent harm to another character, but trying to like prevent harm to this body.
Okay.
From Caleb.
Sure, that's fine. If you want, okay. So describe what you're doing. So describe what you're doing, and then we'll decide if it makes sense. Go ahead.
So I'm trying to, let's see. I'm kind of looking at what can happen here. Basically, that I'm trying to pull him off of the body.
Okay, yeah. You're just running up, and you're just trying to pull Caleb off. No problem. Yeah. Okay,
That's
and
12.
There's just a reserve of strength within Donna. Possibly the toughest is you just yank Caleb off the body. Caleb, you have a tiny little piece of dried cheek meat in your mouth as you're pulled away. Donna, you can see on the ground where you have now removed him, there is a body of what you presume to be a dead person. They look exsanguinated, and they are now missing a chunk of flesh from their cheek. Their teeth are showing. You can see a chunk of their, part of their bone of underneath their eye is showing, but they do not appear to be moving. Their eyes are just kind of like wide open and sort of discolored and just looking up at the sky as Caleb is chewing.
Dude, we're gonna let that go to waste?
Corbin, get.
Yeah, I've got it. Okay, I've got it. Just 1 second. And Corbin goes over, takes out, what do you call it? An athame? I'm trying to think how you say it correctly. The little ritual knife.
Okay. Ritual knife.
And I just start cutting off a chunk for Corbin, for Caleb.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I understand. You don't want to watch it. I get it. And I just start cutting off a piece for my brother.
Yeah.
Very
dry,
dude. Very wrinkly, a little dirty as it's on the ground. You can definitely tell it's not the best of condition.
Dude, 5-day rule.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I gotcha.
I like that the protect someone role should make them. If you're protecting a bystander, they also become your ally. So were this person alive, they would like me a lot.
Sure.
But they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure to basically I'll go the opposite cheek meat route. I'll just cut off some rump roast, and that way I can roll it over so it's easy to like not have everybody else have to see it.
Rump roast and cheek meat. Okay. Sure. I think it's going to be difficult to cut anything that, I mean, like you're cutting off meat to hand over to Caleb. Like I think.
Yeah, I'm just
okay.
Cutting off chunks.
Okay. All right. So 3 bodies in the ground. One of them has some chunks missing from it, but the otherwise they're on the ground. No light in any direction. You've been on the road for an hour. You see nothing.
Dude, you're so good to me, big bro.
Oh yeah.
That is absolutely not how you do mouth to mouth.
Totally missed. Like way off. Like missed by like 6
So
inches.
Mouth to mouth,
You're supposed to use
not
your
mouth to
teeth
cheek.
with mouse in the mouth.
Dude,
I would really
What?
hate to see whoever your first kiss is going to go to.
Staying alive.
Oh, that's my fault, everyone. I did that.
Would you give me a
Anyway,
hand taking a look at this?
yes, I would very much like to give you a hand taking a look at this.
Gonna get a bigger chunk. Okay, Caleb.
Okay. So it sounds so. Phil, how are you helping Donna in this? Because it sounds like you're using help out. So how are you helping Donna investigate these bodies?
I was just going to let kind of Donna lead, like whatever she needs to investigate on the bodies. I'm just going to move the bodies or try and maybe grab a flashlight and provide light in the appropriate spots.
Yeah,
I'll probably,
it's
probably in the process. Yeah, I might call out to Anton. Oh, I fail.
Okay.
I do not help.
Okay.
I'm too busy trying to call out to Anton. You should look for footprints. Vampires don't have reflections, but they do have footprints, I think.
So, Jeff, I'd like to use my move Occult Confidential.
Okay.
The first time in each mystery that you observe a monster, minion, or phenomenon in action, you may ask one question. So would this fit that? I don't know that it's an action. It's a scene.
I don't. This is you said a cult confidential. It's got to be monster, minion, or
so a monster, minion, or phenomenon.
I wouldn't.
Let's just say no because there's nothing
would say
odd.
no.
They're just
Yeah.
dead bodies. Yeah, they're just dead bodies. Okay.
Yeah, I would say no for now.
I will just look for tracks then.
Okay. So it sounds like, that's just investigate a mystery. Go ahead and give that a roll. And Donna,
And I'm investigating the bodies.
you're looking at the bodies. It's the same deal. Investigate a mystery as you're kind of going through, looking for wounds, looking for belongings, that kind of stuff.
So I have a hold. Can I use it here to do where did it go?
Yeah, hold is, I'll say you can still use it because the hold I think is for the whole scene. But we'll carry
it's just
it over
for the
to
scene you're in.
I think so, but we'll carry it over because this is fairly close. You can do it for here. That's fine. I think it's a hold because there's +1 forward, which is the next roll. And I think hold is for like you keep using it. It's on,
Okay.
Or is that ongoing? I get them confused.
A hold is basically you cash it in for one of the choices that's connected to it.
Yeah, we'll say you can cash it in here. It's fine. Okay.
So where did it go?
So, well, that was Donna's roll, I think, right? Donna got the 10, or am I misreading on this?
No,
screen?
I'm cashing in my hold. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, I don't think Donna's rolled yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah, I've got the 10.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so let's start with Donna. Donna, you can answer. You can ask me one of those questions that's listed. Like, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? That kind of stuff. You can see the list there. Where did it go?
Yeah.
What was it going to do? Etc.
So yeah, I definitely want to do what happened here.
Okay. Well, you notice they are most certainly not the victims of a hit and run. They have no signs of being hit by anything. They don't even really have any signs of like broken bones. They have some claw marks here and there, like some scrapes and things that look pretty serious, but you don't see anything that would be consistent with a car accident. What you do notice, however, is that they have all been completely and utterly exsanguinated. And you notice that each of them has somewhere on their body, sometimes it looks mostly like the neck. They have puncture wounds. The interesting thing, though, I would say, and this is we'll give you a little bit extra because you rolled that 10 plus, is that the wounds themselves, it's not like two little vampiric fangs. In fact, it's like there's actually 3 in like a triangle shape in the neck. Okay.
I was gonna blame this on Dr. C and the vampire stuff, but I don't know a vampire that's got looking like triangle teeth here.
Dude, this meat's surprisingly tough.
Because they got no blood in it.
It's jerky there, buddy. It's jerky.
Oh, all right.
The things we're okay with, Donna. This is... Yeah, I ain't never heard of no vampire with 3 teeth. What about you, Anton?
Not to my recollection. No.
I've heard of vampires with 1 teeth, but you can always tell when they're around from the banjo.
This might be more of an implement that's being used to pull out the blood, maybe?
That would follow up with Dr. C pretty well.
I mean,
So this would be interesting. There were 3 disappearances, and then all 3 of them just happened to be dropped here on the same day another dead body was found.
are there any prints?
That was what I was going to ask. But also knowing how far back they were left, if they're dried out, I mean, you never know how long a bag of jerky's been sitting in the pantry.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Can I tell?
Are you trying to figure out how long they've been here?
By tasting. Yes. Yeah,
He's an expert on
that's
flesh.
amazing.
You can say no to this. It's fine.
I love
Hell
it.
no. Absolutely. Do like do investigative mystery. It's kind of it sounds like.
Okay, plus sharp. 9.
They are youth, despite the dryness of it. They are not old. These are relatively fresh. These are not several days old. These are not a week old. These are maybe hours old.
Still within the 5-day rule. They might even be within the 5-hour rule.
I would have not guessed that. Well, I mean, if there's tracks, hopefully they're fresh.
Yeah, I
will
mean, we could follow them.
Well, let's see if we can find them first.
Okay. And I start looking around.
Okay. So what have you been up to, Corbin? You've been quiet for a bit. What do you do?
I mean, initially he was chopping a bunch of food and whatnot for his brother. I'm trying to think, because Corbin's not really an investigator. I'm not quite sure. He's just looking around like he was honestly looking at the 3-prong things, and in his mind he's thinking of that as like a power outlet. It's like there's probably like some dude like hooking up tubes to this or something, like sucking out their blood for like energy or something, or like oh man, I guess I'm trying to think. None of them look like they have any like. They don't look like bodies that were dropped at a high rate of speed. They don't like if somebody dropped a body out of a car.
No, it doesn't look anything like that. It looks like from what you can tell, it looks like they were probably running and kind of got pinned to the ground or something like that. You don't see anything that suggests like they've been crushed in any way. Like they have like slash marks and some wounds, none of which are bleeding because the blood has kind of been sucked away.
So I have a really bad idea.
I mean, that's consistent with everything.
One of the effects that can be done with, I'm looking at my thing for the used magic sheet here, right? And one of them is summon a monster into the world. We already have one zombie summon. Maybe I could do like a lesser summoning. Can I try and use magic to get one of these things to get up and walk back? Like try and command it to walk back where it came from?
Wait, what do you mean?
No, this is like above.
Okay.
I don't.
I guess.
What do you use?
I get that.
This is use magic. What are you doing?
Well, so under use magic, one of the effects is summon a monster into the world. So I was wondering if we could twist that into being like I temporarily weakened at Bernie's one of these things up and try and have it walk back where it came from.
Sure.
I don't know.
No.
Corbin is not a well-practiced magician. He's like some dude that's picked up powers. He doesn't really understand.
Caleb comes back and he is a living creature. And I'm gonna say that ritual was probably intense and difficult and all, etc. Like, because we're probably establishing a precedent here. And so we'll say the precedent is like you can raise them, but only for like 5 minutes and then they fall again.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Or better yet, what if we like to try and put some limitations on it?
Yeah.
What if like I've been cutting pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What if I like cut off a finger and like we probably have like either a Snapples bottle in Phil's car, right? Phil totally is a Snapple drinker, right?
Yeah, I like the little bits of wisdom that it gives.
He does look like a
Snapple.
I'm going to drop the severed finger into the Snapples thing. And what I want to do is I want to cast a spell on the finger to have the finger point where it came from. Make like a magic compass.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Hey,
if you make the
cool.
roll. So go ahead and roll. So I love this description. So go ahead and give us your use magic roll for that.
Okay.
Hey, can I have that when you're done with it?
No.
All right. That's a 9. All right. So 9 is good. It works imperfectly. So you have to choose an effect and a glitch. I decide the glitch, you decide the effect. And you've already essentially said the effect, which is that you wanted to point in the direction it came from. Okay. And I think I've already kind of leaned out to what mine probably would be, which is it's going to be a short-term duration. Yeah. So it's not going to last that long. Okay. I think we're on the same board. So yeah, you cut this off while a couple people are looking around the scene. You cut off one of the fingers, you drop it in a Snapple bottle.
It's like half finished. I didn't even let you finish it first, Phil.
And you kind of, as you ask it a question, you see it just point vaguely in the direction of where you guys have been traveling on the road, like in the direction you're going, slightly off, like kind of slightly off a bit. And I'll say that as you kind of look in the direction it is pointing, and you kind of squint your eyes a bit, you can see in the distance to the north, just a ways, it does look like, now that your eyes are starting to adjust to the darkness a bit, it does look like there might be some vague lights, like maybe a random sort of desert town or something like that, or a handful of buildings, that kind of stuff. And it does seem to be kind of pointing over in that direction.
Oh, look, you found your creepy local friends. Okay.
What are you doing with that? What?
I asked our buddy here, I'm going to call him, I don't know, Clem. And I asked Clem to tell me where he came from, and he's pointing over there. But he's getting tired. Okay, here, you can have it. Because Caleb did ask for it.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
No,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I mean, well, Caleb, let's wait. You didn't officially call dibs.
Oh.
So if Donna wants it. No,
I
he doesn't want it.
want it.
If you guys,
You sure?
if that Snapple bottle's out of the van, did it still have juice in it?
You know, the good news is the magic completely sanitizes it. It's perfectly fine, Phil.
Yeah, okay there, buddy.
So did you
Maybe
want
it
it,
Snapple
Donna?
anymore.
No, I don't want Snapple. Thank you, though. And Donna's gonna go move
no.
bodies.
Did you want the finger?
No, fingers
Why not?
are all yours.
Okay. I enjoy some finger food.
That
So
is
Donna's
a
gonna go-
definite way to say that. Sorry.
Move the bodies off the road so that we can get back on the road again.
Oh, we should check to see if they got IDs on them. I know the other ones had already lost their wallets, which whole nightmare with the DMV. But
Sure.
let's see if they've got it.
I've got to point out that this is very much against what we've seen and heard about so far. This is a group of people, and most of the missing persons cases and people that were taken and killed before were singular.
You ever
All by
hear of that guy
themselves.
Fibonacci?
Hey, Phil. Speaking of
Yeah.
IDs, I got your old ID, and you're all dressed up like the Cure.
That was a very long time. I went through a phase. There was a girl I met in college. I'm just saying, don't change yourself for anyone, buddy. Be the real you, and you will find someone that loves you for you.
Dude, you were cool. Ha.
I think I'm plenty cool right now. You should see the reward points I get for AAA. Now that is cool, my buddy.
Yes, brother, you are the epitome of cool. That's
Look at this
yep,
polo.
That's
These New Balance.
Yep.
I
So
am
Anton, are
fly.
you saying, Anton, that you don't think these are the 3 that disappeared? You think this is another 3?
Well, they might be the 3 that disappeared. I'm just pointing out that it is an aberration in the current loci of folks that have gone missing and were killed. I'm almost wondering if this is perhaps a setup.
It's a trap.
I would like to clarify something for Melissa, because I think you've got yourself a little confused. The initial 3 were bodies that were found. That's how they knew they were exsanguinated. So these are definitely not those 3 that you heard on the radio, because those were actually found. But Anton's right. Like, this is like odd. Like, this is a group, whereas normally it had been singular.
And they were left in the middle of the road. All right.
I mean, I
Clear
suppose
the
we
road.
don't know where they left the other ones.
The waitress didn't say.
The radio didn't say.
Okay, so
Also
I
true.
heard somebody was going to get ID. Easily done. No issues there. You've got one ID is a Deputy Harry R. Truman. You can actually see there is a Mountain Willow deputy badge You can see that there is another one of the other guy on here is a Bobby Smith, and then you can see there's a third person who appears to be a woman by the name of Sherilyn Amick. And they all seem to be, when you look at their IDs, all of them seem to be from have addresses, and their town is Mountain Willow.
I'm just going to say here, I did not know that former President Truman retired to being a law officer. I think we need to get the Secret Service involved.
I don't think that. Do you not remember Mrs. Jones in history? That's not. Look at the picture, dude. Don't you remember?
We all know that Truman was taken to the dark side of the moon to arrange a peace treaty between us and the Greys.
Or maybe the local
what happens,
deputy
Donna.
caught wind of something weird, gathered a posse together, and they got murdered over it.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's go to what's the name of the town?
Mountain Willow.
Now
So
we
let's
could
go
go to the name of the town, but Corbin over there, didn't you say you done saw some lights?
Yeah. And my guess is that's probably where this little murdered posse came from. So we could be like the dead posse revengers and go in there and just burn the whole town down.
I'm absolutely agree. Like that Dr. Holmes said in the second Hobbit book, follow the lights. Let's go.
Follow the lights.
Okay. Are you guys
What are you
going to
doing
go?
with the IDs? Whoever took them, what are you doing with the IDs? Are you keeping them?
I have them. I have no desire to keep them. So if you want them, they are gladly all yours.
Oh, no. I was just going to ask you to wipe them off if you were going to put them back on the bodies.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. In case someone else finds these, they can identify them. And we don't want to leave, we just had a diner, probably, syrup sticky. You don't want to attract ants. So yeah, I'll wipe them down and leave each ID with the body. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you get ants.
So
How you get ants?
you get your stuff, you get your whatever, you get back in your cars. Are you walking in the direction of the lights? Are you driving in the direction of the lights? Are you following the road? Like what's the plan there?
I would vote for driving just because these are new shoes.
Driving.
Okay.
I don't want to get them that dirty.
Or maybe you could think about the fact that they're going to see, if we see their lights, they're going to see our lights. Maybe we should just man up and walk on our feet and go up there with a little bit of stealth.
I would prefer not
Except
to
we
leave my
don't want
vehicle
two
right next to the
cars that
bodies.
can be exactly.
Well, okay. I mean, I
Yeah,
get that, but
Drive first, then walk.
yeah.
Compromise. I like that idea. Compromise is always the secret to success.
We're
Yeah,
on
man.
CBs. We're in the truck in the van, and we've got CBs back and forth. That's why we're
Breaker
having
Breaker
this
19. This is
conversation as we go.
7-Eleven in a cornfield. Do you come in?
All right. So you get back in your stupid vehicles and you drive a little bit, and then you get out before you get to the lights so that you can walk the rest of the distance. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Caleb
You
locks
are-
the door behind him.
The door is locked. You hop out of the cars and you start walking in the direction of these lights. You're much closer now. And Corbin, you are certain this does seem to be a small town. But it is somewhat dark. You see there's the lights that you're looking at are you can see a small road kind of leads downtown, and you can see there's a handful of fairly modest looking buildings from a distance that are barely illuminated by a handful of these orange street lamps here and there. You see, I would say there's no one coming or going up this road. There is a nice little welcome to Mountain Willow sign, and it's got population 341, but you don't actually see anyone coming or going. And we'll put you at maybe a quarter mile outside of this this sort of downtown area. Everything's still very dark. And I will turn it over to you all so you can tell me, what do you want to do?
Donna would like to roll a read a bad situation.
How are you? Okay, so you're just sort of. Do you have like binoculars or something? What is it you're doing? Like, describe what you're doing for.
Yes. So she definitely goes into the bed of the truck and definitely pulls out some binoculars.
Okay, yeah. Then go ahead and as you pop these binoculars in, give us a read a bad situation. Roll a sharp.
That is a 9. So it's a hold 1. So the question on, so the choices for the hold would be, I think, what's the best way in?
Straight down the road that says welcome to Mountain Willow and seems to lead to a main street that goes between what looks like a very small and modest looking downtown area. That is certainly the easiest way in. It's not a competent. I'm going to give you another question because that is like, it was an obvious answer. So if there's another question you want to ask.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
I'll say as you, there do seem to be, because as you've got your binoculars out, you're looking, you're scanning around, and you notice that every one of these buildings seems to be fairly dark. Like you don't see lights on inside of them. From what you can see, some of them have windows boarded up. And you don't see any movement, there's no one moving around on the street. It's very late at night, but at the same time, you don't really see anyone moving around in the street. You also notice that there is a large heavy duty pickup truck that's turned over about halfway between yourselves and where the downtown area is, as if it was kind of coming in your direction, but it's turned over on its side. And you can see that on the ground here and there, as you're looking through the binoculars, there are other bodies on the ground.
All right. Got an overturned vehicle and more bodies, maybe like the ones that we found. Nobody else moving around? Maybe, but see what we can see. Donna's leading the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of plans.
So you start moving in. Are you just going down into the road down the main street?
Yep.
Okay.
Anton's got his 38 revolver like in his pocket, just ready.
Okay.
I've got the bottle of Snapple, curiously sipping at it.
And it's been pointing here and there. And like you can see, it's like everywhere that you've been walking, the way that Donna's leading you, it's pointing. You see it's pointing to the far side of the Main Street area. Like you can see as you're triangulating a little bit, you can see that there is a building it seems to be pointing at. And it looks from a distance like an old-timey movie theater. It's not lit up. Like there's a marquee, but the marquee isn't lit. There's like a vertical scroll that seems to have a word printed on it. And I'll say, Donna, if you pop open the binoculars, it says the Monumental, like kind of in a vertical way. And then there's like the horizontal scroll. And it looks to be that's where the finger is pointing from. You see there's some small no-name diner. It looks like there's a sheriff's, or I would say like a chief of police, like a local law enforcement office. Your kind of usual things that you would expect to see on Main Street. You pass by the truck off to the side. It seems to have like spun out and flipped over. And then you kind of get right up into the middle of Main Street, and there is, again, no one there. There are bodies in the street once more. I'll say that you guys can probably get to them pretty easily and see that once again, they are utterly exsanguinated.
Oh, such a waste.
Is there anything above us?
Well, Corbin, you look up and you can see on the edge of the rooftop of, we'll say, some sort of small diner, you can see there's these two large glowing eyes that are reflecting some of the light from below. And this shadowy shape starts to move, and then it leaps off of the rooftop as if it's about to just pounce on top of all of you.
Oh God, why do I ask questions?
Because it's fun.
So this is I'm going to go ahead and basically cash in my my complication someone gave you. So yeah, I am going to do something. So this thing's going to hop down. It's just a tradition for me to try to bite Jeremy's ass off in the first session of a game. So I feel like we should do this again.
Okay, that's fair. I respect it.
So I'm gonna. Okay. All right. So why don't you? I'm trying to think how I want to handle this. Why don't? Yeah, I think this thing is just going to leap down on you pretty simply, and it's going to pounce on you. And as this thing lands on you and just basically sends you pinned to the ground, you feel yourself rattle against the ground a bit. The rest of you look and you see that there is a large, scaly-looking creature that has to be the size of an extremely large mastiff, like a very, very big dog. Except it's not a dog. It's scaly. You can see that it has this shimmering, like lizard-like outer carapace to it. You can see that there are these quills or spikes that kind of are right along the ridge line here and there. It's got these big, very pronounced looking eyes. Its mouth opens up and there's these huge fangs and it's dripping this saliva down onto Corbin as you all kind of go scattering from the impact of the bounce. So I will turn to you guys and give you a second, as now I've put Corbin in a little bit of trouble. He's pinned, and I turn it over to you guys. What are you guys doing?
Caleb is going to go protect his big brother. He's going to say, "Oh fuck no," and he's going to charge directly at this thing.
All right. So are you trying to tackle it off, or is that what you're looking to do?
No. If he wants to bite something, I'll bite him.
Okay. So it sounds like you're rolling kick some ass. So go ahead and roll some kick some ass.
Okay, so that's plus tough. 8.
Sure. Well, eight is a success. So, or actually, wait. Kick some ass on a 7+ is a partial success. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm is based on the established dangers in the game. That usually means you inflict harm rating of your weapon. So I think it's 3 because you're using your monstrous claws, and your enemy inflicts their attacks harm rating on you. What a coincidence. I also inflict 3 back on you.
Well, I have 3 harm, intimate, plus 1 harm.
Okay, so 3 harm, intimate, plus 1 harm.
Yeah.
Probably has like a gift or something that gives them an extra.
Okay. It does have an armor. So you guys both end up actually taking 3 anyway. So as you lunge out, you start biting in and you realize your teeth aren't really as easily sinking through the scales as you thought it was. And it turns its head around and it snaps, and it doesn't fully sink its fangs all the way into you, but it does bite you. And then this horrible claw as it lifts its leg up, giving Corbin time to roll out if you want. And then that rakes Caleb right down the chest. So go ahead and mark 3 harm, Caleb.
Got it.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I'm going to wait for a clear shot. So not while it's being
while he's entangled. Sure. Okay.
Do it.
I was going to look towards Donna.
Okay.
Delta formation.
Absolutely. I don't know what that means, but absolutely.
I don't either.
I never know.
It's just an excuse for me to use my power of the hearts. So I can help someone and I automatically get a 10 when fighting a monster. So whatever Donna's going to do for Delta formation, I'm giving a hand.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's great. So it gives you an automatic 10, would give you a +1 to your roll. Then Donna is what's going to happen here. So Donna, describe what you're doing and then we'll see what you roll.
What is Delta formation?
I'm definitely curious.
So is Phil the kind of person that might have a laser pointer?
I mean, Yes.
Okay, so I'd imagine Delta formation is sort of like Phil has like picked out the soft spot that Donna should aim for. And so
Okay.
Donna is going to go running up with her big knife at the spot that Phil has sighted.
I love it.
Okay.
Right
and
there.
You just see
Tender
that
bits.
it's right there. Oh, it's good for the tender bits. I was like, where was the ass? But that works too. And it's just shining on the ass end of this creature.
All right. So then that'll be a +3 then. Because I've got the additional from Bro, and I missed.
Okay.
How did I miss with a +3? Hold on. I don't think it took my +3.
So you rolled a 4.
It's a 7.
Okay, so you didn't.
It should have
so
been.
You didn't miss. Okay, so it's a partial success.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened to Caleb, and that is you and whatever it is that you're fighting inflict harm on each other. So they basically, as Caleb is wrestling around with its front, you try to charge it in the back. You try to use the little light that Phil's laser pointer is giving you to stab right into its ass, basically. But you miss. You catch it in the leg. It still catches it. You hear it kind of screech, and then it turns around, and with one of its its claws, it just swipes across your face. You feel it kind of down your neck and onto your chin, and then down to your shoulder. And you also will go ahead and take 3 points of harm.
So I will take 2 because I do have protective wear. That is a 1 armor.
Okay. And how much damage did you do to it?
1.
Okay. Which, unfortunately, it seems as though the tip of that blade did not puncture its outer exterior scales.
Oh, damn.
Its weakness was not its anus, unfortunately. So
Donna's going to look back to Anton and say, nice not working, gotta shoot it.
Okay. So Anton.
Yeah.
They're calling out at you.
Take a shot.
It's definitely not clear, but you should still go ahead and do it.
Do it.
Okay. Yeah.
You start firing away. Yeah,
great
it still
at
kicks
shooting.
some ass.
It still
go
kicks
for
some ass. Well, I'm going to do it.
All right. Oh, that's
Yes!
a great roll.
There you
That's
go.
a great
All
roll.
right.
That's a 10.
Awesome.
On a 10,
I will
you
do-
get to 1 extra effect.
Inflict terrible harm. Another point of harm.
Okay, so you're going to
Nice.
do 4
And the
points of damage.
38 revolver. It does
so-
2 harm, so 3
So
harm.
three harm. Okay. All right. You start firing away. You can see you're like waiting for Caleb to duck, and then he ducks and you fire and you catch it, and then Donna has to kind of swirl out away. You fire again. You see like a couple bullets kind of clink off the ground, nearly hitting Corbin as he's rolling away. But you do get a couple shots in. Definitely that scale seems to be helping it a bit, as not all of the shots go through. But you have certainly done some damage to this thing. It's at that point that as you're standing there firing away, I'll say, Corbin, you're the one who notices this as you roll out of the way and you look up. You see the gunshots firing. You see Donna and Caleb wrestling with this thing. You see Anton firing away. That you see a shadow lurking behind Anton and these glowing eyes. It looks like an identical creature as it lunges out at Anton as a second one of these creatures has now joined into the fight. Corbin, you haven't done anything yet, so why don't you tell us what you want to do?
So before it has a chance to jump on Antoni,
Sure.
I'll kind of like, he has like those really lame, like long pinky nails.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kind of cross his arms and cut across his forearms to get just a little bit of blood, mash his tattoos together, and the snake tattoos will actually light up for a second. He'll draw out like this strand of fire and just yell, Mendicana Ignum, bitch! Toss out a flame of fire at this thing coming up behind Antoni, and I'll choose the option to do 3 damage ignoring armor on it.
Okay. Okay, good, because it does in fact have armor. Yeah.
I'll click my roll.
Give us that
magic.
roll. It's use magic for you. Oh, that's a great roll. That's a 13.
13.
Wow.
You get some extra stuff with
That's
that.
crazy.
Oh, let me look what the effects were. Sorry.
The keeper will offer you some added benefit And how much damage would you were going to do? Like what?
It would normally do 3 ignoring armor.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna say
he's just trying to go flamethrower on it.
I'm gonna say it's gonna catch fire, and it's just gonna continue to tick. Like every time it moves or does something, it's gonna continue to tick and burn. So it's not just you burnt it once; it's literally on fire, and there's a dot that's ticking and ticking and ticking on it. Okay, you said 3, right? And an ignored armor. Okay, thank you. All right, as this thing is now on fire, Anton, you see a streak of fire come right past your face, like singeing your tweed suit for a moment, and then behind you, the shadow of the overhang where some antique shop was, where this thing was crawling out of its window, is now bright in red and orange and yellow, as there is now an on fire lizard dog thing. That is trying to kill you. Its mouth is open, screaming in pain. And Anton, I'll say you're right next to it. As you look back, you can see it's got these 3 very pronounced fangs, and it's in this kind of triangular formation inside of its mouth. 2 kind of where you would normally expect it, and 1 is kind of a little bit deeper back in the roof of its mouth. And you have these 2 things in the street with you guys. What are you all doing?
Well, this one here, it doesn't hurt Donna.
It did. It's true.
Donna's tough enough to take care of herself, but she needs my help. I'm going to go wrestle that thing over. That way she can get it soft underbelly. So I run over, fly and leap, and just try and grab onto this thing's back and roll with it.
Okay. You're going to try to hop onto its back, and you're going to try to roll with it. Go ahead and roll your kick some ass.
Yeah.
I am going to say this though, Phil, as I've already established, these things have quills and spines on its back, that you're probably, if successful, it's going to do some damage back to you, in addition to what it normally would. Yeah,
these are Levi's.
Yeah. Okay.
They're supposed to be tough, so
okay.
We'll see what we can do.
These are Levi's.
It's just a success. Oh, it's a 10 plus.
A 10's still great. So you still get. I'll say this. You suffer less harm to manage to dodge out of the way of those spines that I was just talking about. If we want,
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, awesome. And so you manage to maybe use one and swing and hold on to it, and then you just Okay.
This is how you handle catfish. You get the barb.
What kind of harm do you do this thing, and what does it look like?
I really don't know if I'm trying to inflict actual damage. I just want to try and put it in a vulnerable situation, like really like grab it, flip it up. Because, just like an alligator, these things got a soft underbelly.
Well, that's exactly what happens as you pull back on the quills and it rears back. You're almost about to fall, like you're riding a bull and you're going to get kicked. But Donna, you see that the scaly texture that is off on its sides, on its legs, on its back, there's definitely not that kind of coverage on its underbelly. Phil's instincts were 100% right on this. There does appear to be a bit of a weakness down there. So we'll say so Donna, if you want to act on that, you can we'll take a +1 from kind of Phil's like action here to help rear it back to give you a hand.
All right. She's gonna. All right. So she's gonna, kind of the knife didn't really stick the first time, and so she's gonna, kind of
get its belly button
back and aim, and this will be +1 to this, so it'll be a 10.
Donna, why don't you describe how you kill this thing as you're going to do that?
Big Bro said belly button, so I'm not sure if there is a belly button, but something that looks belly, biggest part of the belly-ish.
It definitely looks
straight in.
There's definitely ridges and things like that. You're able to stab into one of them, twist, and just cut down, and you just see organs and blood just pour out onto the ground. It screams out in pain, and as it does, it kind of has this this echo kind of happening, like it's like a raptor from Jurassic Park. And then the one that's on fire near Anton also seems to kind of respond, screeching out. And
holy poop. I didn't realize these things were geese. It's a whole different ballpark.
and that one starts to run away. Still on fire, though. What are you all doing? One's down, one's running away.
Gotta shoot the one running away.
Absolutely.
There you
Go
go.
right ahead. Go right ahead.
Ooh.
You fire
Ooh,
away,
that's
you fire. You see like the glass on some of these storefronts like just crack and shatter as your bullets miss it and kind of hit this thing. You watch then as it's got these kind of weird, almost like kangaroo, like the banger, the angle of the last legs, of their back legs, as they kind of compress and then they leap up this like almost pure vertical leap, like a 15-foot vertical leap, and they hop onto the rooftop of the building that you just shot, still on fire, mind you. You can barely see it still, but if anyone has anything they think they could do before it runs out of sight, you certainly could do so.
I've got a fun idea. It seems like they're potentially communicating,
Mhm.
and I'm at this point. I'm just experimenting with what I can do with magic because I'm stupid.
Okay.
But another thing I could try and do is learn how to communicate with something that I don't share a language with.
Okay.
So as it's like I'm kind of laughing at it as it's burning in pain. It sounds like it's calling out. I'm going to take out the tape recorder, try and click it to record it, and then play it backwards again. But this time it's like this weird thing where it's almost like he's trying to like suck the noise out of the tape recorder into himself, as then magically imbue himself with that.
Okay.
Again, I'm sure that I have a terrible potential flaw if it goes wrong.
Go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and roll it.
I'm just imagining you like playing the tape player like into
Oh,
your
God.
phone.
You totally
So
missed.
you get to choose something terrible to do to me.
Okay, so you lose control of the magic. All right. So do I just choose? I get to choose. So I get to just choose the glitch. Is that all? Is that all it
I
says?
think so. Yeah, because I didn't like roll double ones or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do a problematic side effect. You can draw immediate unwelcome attention.
So as you suck in the sounds, you do feel your throat get hot and parchy, and then as you start to communicate, the rest of you around as Corbin's trying to talk, you just hear. And for a little while, we're going to say that's how Corbin talks.
Yes.
And much like your brother, you have an unquenchable thirst for blood. The only thing that could quench the burning in your throat.
I'll sip the Snapples that had a finger in it.
It's not Snapple,
It's like
though.
tea.
No.
All right.
But I'll sip that to like vaguely.
It's so
Yes.
salty.
At this point, we'll say that both of these creatures have been defeated, one being chased away, still on fire, so it probably isn't going to get too far, you don't think. The other one is laying on the ground near you, butchered by Donna's weapon, blood and viscera on the ground. Absolutely. Pictures
take
galore.
photographs. I got my Polaroid.
Yeah. So does anyone else want to do anything? Because there is something I'm thinking of doing, but I wanted to give you all an immediate kind of reaction to what just happened first.
The only two things I can think of, one is useful and one is not. First one is checking the mouth, confirming
Yeah.
3 teeth.
Yeah. I don't
The
know roll for
second
this.
one, yeah,
Definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The non-useful thing is trying to like eyeball this thing like, the old Astrovan put a monster skin rug traveling in style. Wouldn't be so great to sleep on. So if anyone needs to crash, we may have to roll it up, but it's worth a thought.
Ooh,
One useful,
I do wanna
one
take-
non-useful.
I do want to take one scale off of this thing.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna
Easily.
ruin
Easily.
the pelt.
Absolutely. Take a scale. No problem.
Are you all right, bro?
Oh God, he's a goose. What do I need to do to check to see if I have any bread on me?
Did you have bread on you? Done. Phil,
I
you always carry bread.
I throw a heel of bread right at Corbin's face. Like, stay back, vile cobra bird. I'm just playing. I know you're not a cobra bird, but it's still funny. Have another slice. And I toss him another slice of bread.
Donna's going to take out the binoculars that she had out earlier. And so she wants to look around and see, like, what has this tussle done? Because we didn't really see movement before.
So as you are moving the binoculars around, a gun was fired. You see movement from that large building, that movie theater, the Monumental down the street. You see what appears to be two people stepping out. They both have what look like, hunting rifles like in their hands, and they're kind of pointing that direction. And then one of them is kind of shouting and is like, "Here, this way," and kind of waving at you all. "Before the rest of them come, before the..." And then right as she says it a second time, you guys hear echoing all around, from this way, from that way, from this way, from that way. There's like dozens and dozens of calls and responses that are getting louder and louder and closer to Main Street.
I don't think we could take dozens.
Listen, as a great musical performance once said, St. Louis, beat your feet. Let's run.
Running.
Or we can find out. I'm betting these are egg layers. We can find out where they're laying their eggs.
No,
They
and
have
burn the
scales.
building down.
No,
They
can I
have
eat them?
scales.
And that's
Wait.
exactly what you hear as you guys look back the way you came, and you can see there's 4 of these creatures that are slowly emerging and kind of walking up onto the street. You hear, and you see a couple more like on the roofs are starting to close, and you guys are literally being surrounded by these things.
Let's go
Corbin,
talk
what
to the
are they
people
saying?
inside.
Yeah, let's run.
In the car. Let's run
Well, we
over.
left the cars
Well, no,
back
the
there.
car's back the way.
Yeah, the
You
cars
guys-
are way
Yeah.
back.
There's
In the
4 of them
theater. To the
between you.
theater.
Okay.
New Balance, don't fail me now.
So I want everyone to roll Act Under Pressure because you waited. Act Under Pressure to try to get to this place without possibly getting tripped up along the way.
Double sixes.
I think I'll take an audience point.
Fair enough.
I should have done that.
Nope,
missed.
still a 6.
Okay.
I got a
Oops.
partial.
All right. Anybody who did anybody straight up fail?
Yes.
Caleb?
Several people did.
Okay.
Donna.
Anybody who straight up fail, you don't get pinned or anything like that, but these things start kind of doing this this kind of guerrilla tactics as they run past and slash and cut. There's a couple shots that are going off from down the street as they're trying to cover you. Yes, Phil. Something about Amy? I said guerrilla tactics.
I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I did get a 13
Okay.
on my roll. The New Balances, they made a difference.
Okay.
Any chance I could use my excess success to help Donna?
To help one person. Yeah. Whoever you can
Yes.
help one person. Okay.
Please help Donna.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, Caleb, you get slashed on one of these little ventures across, and you're gonna take 2 points of harm.
It's okay. I can't feel it.
As you're running, and you don't. Yeah, okay. You don't actually feel it. You feel pressure.
I still get damaged. Yeah.
And you kind of stumble a bit, but then a rifle shot goes off. Someone's kind of running out, and you see this woman kind of reaches down, holds out a hand, and kind of helps you up as all of your other friends are running. as
Dude,
well.
run. Just run.
And you all make it into this theater with only Caleb having taken another bit of damage, another bit of harm. The minute you get swept up, you can see that there's a handful of folks that are already like putting up like barricades and things like that on the doors, and then they're directing you even further because it's the classic like entry area of a movie theater, and you can see like there's like a snack counter and all that kind of stuff, but they're kind of sending you into the actual theater, and they're barring the doors again. So like there's this whole area, and looking around as you come in here, there's probably about 60, 70 people in here kind of scattered about in these little tiny groups, like they're in some kind of emergency shelter.
Snacks, you say?
Not those kind.
Oh,
Like
okay.
popcorn and well,
I
there's probably
mean-
dried hot dogs. There probably could be some dried hot dogs.
Yeah. Are they
I
in
gotta
the
tell ya.
dangerous area or are they in the safe area?
I mean, like you're inside a theater, so you could certainly make a run for them if you like.
I mean,
If you're gonna go out there, I'm just saying, get some popcorn, put some cinnamon on it. It's very good.
well, if it's in a somewhat dangerous area, I think this would be a good time to act under pressure.
To
Right?
do what are you trying to do?
To avoid the food
Come
because it's
down
hunger.
on
It's not
me.
just
Oh,
human
okay.
flesh. It's
So basically, like they're ushering you in to the next into the big theater, and you see as you're passing by like these several day old rotisserie of
oh man, that's
hot
perfect.
dogs that are just kind of sitting there staring at you.
Day
No one
old.
else is like, they look terrible, but you see them. So yeah, go ahead.
They look like fingers that have been floating in a Snapple bottle.
Caleb, you break into the freaking hot dog spinner. Oh no,
Okay.
partial success. Sorry. I
Partial
thought you were-
success, yeah.
Okay, so with that, you like reach out, you grab like one, but you manage to just hold off your urges just enough as the woman who helps you up kind of turns and looks at just the wrong time, and she sees maybe you have something in your hand, gives you a quizzical look, but doesn't really make too much of it. And you
You want
manage to
one? Yeah, no, it's fine.
We have food inside. Yeah. As you guys are led into this big old movie theater, right? You see a bunch of people around, like I said, much like an emergency shelter of some kind. As you're hustled in, the two people that kind of helped you, one of them will turn around and she's got like a camo hat on, it looks like, and then it has right in the center, it looks like a gray, like with the big old eyes, kind of right in the center. And she turns to look at you all and she says, "Did they make it? You all the help? We sent for help. They made it, huh? Did Harry make it?"
No.
Mm,
Wait, which one's Harry?
What? He's dead.
no, remember the no.
Oh,
wait,
Harry
no.
Truman.
Yeah, Harry Truman. You met him? He's okay? He
No,
got word
no.
out?
We did
no.
meet him. We did. He is not okay.
No.
Wait.
Very not okay.
What?
And unfortunately, it was Harry and Bobby and Sherilyn. We found their bodies.
And so you see she kind of looks over at another one of these, the other woman who was helping you. When you look over at her, she's probably in her 60s or so. She's got like a tie-dye shirt on. She's got all sorts of these colorful beads kind of all over the place. And you can see she just kind of like reaches into her bag and she just puts a freaking just a roach right in her mouth, lights up, and
Whoa there, Willie Nelson.
"That's just too bad. I sure did like Bobby. Oh, rest in peace and the great beyond and all that kind of stuff." As she kind of looks around. And then the first woman, "Well, if you're all not the help we sent for, then who the hell are you people?"
Monster hunters. Glad to meet you.
And they kind of look at it. "Monster hunters? That's a thing?"
Well, there are monsters.
Oh, they ain't monsters. Those are aliens.
Those were what?
What's the difference?
Qualify as monsters.
Well, I mean, I suppose if you look at it from that kind of perspective, but the way they came here they clearly want something, but sure, okay, monsters, that's fine. I mean, they are pretty monstrous, so I suppose that's not an unfair. Okay, yeah. So you're here hunting monsters. These monsters?
Well, specifically a scientist by the name of Dr. There's a lot of consonants. We call him Dr. C.
Dr. C. No, town doctor we got here is Dr. Ashbrook.
How long has he been
They're,
your doctor?
Oh, he's nearing 80, so he's been here basically my whole life, I think. And she's like, you could tell she's in her like late 40s or something like that. It's like, I
Part of the
remember.
woodworks, huh?
What's that?
Part of the woodworks, huh?
Sure, yeah. Are you really gonna eat that hot dog?
Oh, it's already gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
Well,
you? So you know that show, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and like they got those like sword swallowers and stuff.
yeah. Okay, I know that.
You know, like that. Just with anything. Oh, I remember that one
Underground
episode
boy.
where the guy like threw like some like pool balls and like wished them around in his stomach. He's a magician.
I didn't see that episode.
So is there anyone up here that has like a big lab or anything?
Lab. Well, Dr. Ashbrook's got he's got his medical practice and such, and then we got the observatory.
That's it.
Might be the
On a scale of 1 to 10, that's gotta be
Well, there
it.
ain't no Dr. C up there. There's Dr. Weed. Hey, Richard.
You ever watch?
Richard, come on over here. These fellas want to ask you about your observatory. You see this guy kind of gets up, starts wandering in your direction. Doesn't look familiar. Man, he's probably Pegum, maybe in his late 30s or so, kind of a younger looking dude. Little bit of a receding hairline, looks a little bit worse for wear. But he's like, hi, how y'all doing? My name's Richard. What do you want to know?
Well, this shoots my idea in the foot. Anton, you got any ideas?
Now that we've seen the creatures, seen them in
Mhm.
action, can
Sure.
I try my occult confidential ability?
I think this is, that definitely makes sense now, for sure. The first time in each mystery that you observe a monster, minion, or phenomenon, you may ask one question from the investigate a mystery. You don't have to do a roll, Anton. You just have to look at the list
Oh, okay, yes.
for investigate a mystery. So any of those you just basically get for free. So for the crowd, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is it being concealed here?
So I think we know most of the answers, except for maybe what's being concealed here.
Okay. So as way of answering that, the doctor would be like, well, it's not really my expertise. You see, I'm actually an astronomer, but I have been observing the creatures, and they do seem to be highly intelligent. That's why I think some of the folks around here consider them that they might be aliens and such. But here's the thing. I think it's quite possible they might be some sort of hive mind or something like that. Or maybe there might be some kind of queen that is kind of telling them what to do or that sort of thing, coordinating their actions and things like that. Because they seem to be kind of communicating here and there, and their strategy and smarts and stuff like that. So, that's my working theory.
Wait, so you're saying that these are alien visitors?
I definitely think they might be from the stars. Of course I do.
Oh, then President Truman's foray to the dark side of the moon must have failed.
Well, I don't know anything about Harry Truman going to the dark side, but we did have a Harry Truman as a deputy here. He was a very nice and brave man. Him and a few of the others were going to go and try to get us help because
dead now. Dead.
Oh,
yeah, I flip back my notebook pages. Dead and dead. Yes, dead.
Oh well, that's a
Yeah.
pity.
Sorry, that's a bummer.
Any idea how we might be able to find the queen? If they're working on some kind of hive, have you heard sounds? Maybe they're communicating by or smell anything? Scent?
They definitely do that kind of bark geese like sound, you know, like they're like that's it right there. Right there.
Yeah, point over to
Corbin's really good at figuring stuff out, so I think he can talk to him.
Really?
I
communicate with them.
Well, before we get there, I'm not done with this Harry Truman thing.
Okay. He was a deputy. He was a really nice man.
But what was he doing from April 12th, 1945 to September 2nd, 1945?
Well, I'm pretty sure he was in his 40s, but I'm not positive, so I imagine he was an infant at the time.
Checks out. Okay.
I'm pretty good at math.
I watch a lot of Discovery Channel, so it's fine. It all checks out.
What's the Discovery Channel?
That was out in the late 80s, Jeff.
I have no idea.
You can afford cable?
Right.
Right, exactly.
It's what happens when you had a job like I used to.
Oh, you're cool.
So
I throw another piece of bread.
Is there like a nest or something that these alien creature monsters tend to congregate or go back to at daytime or nighttime?
That's a good question. Do you see them in the day?
Oh, we do. They don't. They definitely. They're sneaky. They are. They hide and they keep to the shadows, but they can come at you in the darkness, or excuse me, in the light as well.
Yeah, I have a bathroom.
And the woman you've been talking to, she's like, yeah, I can show this way.
All right, let's hurry.
And then she's like leading you back towards where you came from to go to the bathrooms. And like Dr. Richard Weed turns back to you guys and he's just like, yeah, she's a good mayor as well. This town has a lot of bad publicity. It has, publicity is probably not bad reputation for being a bunch of wackadoos with all sorts of far out theories and things like that. And well, I don't think that's true at all. Everyone here has been incredibly supportive of all the research that I've been doing up in the observatory. So, I think.
How long have you been here, Doc?
Oh, I'm working on finishing up my research and I'm gonna publish and everything. So I think I've been here for about 3 years, on and off. I go home to visit my family and such as well.
So you know the area. You'd be able to answer Donna's question.
Well, I can answer some of it. Sure, I'll be glad to help. Yeah, absolutely. I totally forgot what the question was, though. I was
about
really
a nest
concerned because that man ate
somewhere that
2-week-old hot dog.
They'll be fine.
A nest?
System works quick. He'll get rid of it.
Well, I don't necessarily know where a nest might be, but I can tell you with certainty that I'm pretty sure they came down from the mountains up on the ridge and stuff like that because, no one really saw them anywhere else, and I guess that makes the most sense now, doesn't it? That would be where I would go to look.
So, just quick meta question. We have an assumption of what Dr. Creepuscle looks like to know that this, okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you?
Honestly, I was imagining we were going off a description of Granny's her journal.
Yeah, I'm thinking we've never actually seen him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the way I'm playing it is that the specific details surrounding Granny Muriel's death are murky, but the base thing everyone knows and accepts as truth is that it was because of Dr. Crepuscle.
How is that pronounced again?
Dr. Crepuscular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr.
All right.
I'm
Icicle.
suspiciously watching the finger in the meanwhile.
The finger?
It initially
Okay.
pointed towards here. So
It did. It's at this point, I'd say it's probably spinning
might be
around.
fizzling.
Yeah. Well, it could be just like you're here. Because she did say that that the deputy there, Mr. Harry R. Truman, which is not the same as president, because I think, isn't it President Harry S. Truman? Whatever. Anyhow,
They never covered that on
he
Discovery
left to try to
Channel.
get them help. He left to try to get them help. So it's not crepuscular. That's not how it's pronounced, but that's how I pronounced it a few times there, John. Yeah.
So I think we should take you up on your offer to go see what you've been up to at the observatory and see what we can see about them as we go.
Wow, no, we need to go into the observatory because there's very delicate equipment in there, and I did make sure to lock it up all nice and tight and good before I left. But I'd be glad to go up into the mountains with you a little bit and show you around. We can take Mayor Blackwell with us. She's a regular rugged woman, and she knows the whole place like the back of her hand. She's very good with that rifle.
Can I try to manipulate someone?
Sure. Tell me how you're trying to do that. Like, what do you say to manipulate them?
I just don't see way, if we're trying to observe where these things are coming from, I don't know anything better to do that from than an observatory. And it does seem that you're sort of withholding the best viewpoint for us to try to see what we can do about this danger to your town here.
That sounds good. Go ahead and roll your manipulate someone. It's a charm.
Okay, I'm going to grab a +1 from the audience on this one. So that's going to be an 8, which is... So it's a normal person.
Yeah, it's a normal person, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. You want to go into his observatory.
Yeah, especially now that he didn't seem to want us to. So
Yeah.
what, if anything, like if he's not willing, then it doesn't matter.
I do think he'll say, well, I just don't see the relevance of it. It took many years and a lot of grant applications. Have you ever applied for a grant, miss?
In my former life, absolutely.
Well, then you know how difficult it can be to get a proper funding for a scientific expedition endeavor up here in the great mountains of New Mexico.
Well, I certainly hope that these alien creature monsters don't take it upon themselves to wreck that laboratory of yours, because then where would all that grant funding go then?
Well, if that's the case, I imagine my insurance will cover it. However, if it's a bunch of wahoos that I take up there voluntarily, and they're the ones who facilitate its destruction, then I don't know if insurance would cover it, I'm afraid to say.
Big brother, he just called us a wahoo.
I don't appreciate that. I am not a wahoo.
Oh.
Throw another slice of bread.
Hey, we going to Hawaii as I come back from the bathroom.
We're going up the mountain. We're going up the mountain.
Can I leverage my move Trust Me?
Walk me through Trust Me.
You tell a normal person the truth in order to protect them from danger. It's a charm roll.
Okay. Sure.
Us Theodores are so charming, huh?
Yeah, trying to convince him.
What truth are you telling? What truth are you telling him, though?
The truth I'm telling him is like, listen, like, it's not aliens. It's gonna be like, there's this guy, Dr. C, a foul scientist who does, like, he really, like, good scientists like you that are furthering scientific discovery. He does a lot of damage to them, and he specializes in creepy, scary, spooky monsters. And honestly, if you've got a very well-established observatory, like you've noted with all of your grants and everything like that, imagine what he could do. He chases everyone out with his spooky vampire dog lizards.
Okay.
He can then go raid your observatory for any scientific equipment that he may need. And listen, we're trained in this. You should just give us the keys. We'll go up. We'll check it out. I promise you, I have been to college myself. I was a business major. Not the same, but enough that I can respect the finances required and the long and tedious process that an insurance claim like that would be. We'll happily check it out, make sure he's not doing anything. And over there, Anton, he's got a camera. So if we see anything, we can take firsthand observations, notes.
Okay.
Get you the best possible scenario for reporting this to your insurance company.
Go ahead.
Listen, I know
Go ahead.
You gotta roll.
Farmers is going to have.
He's like filibustering until the end of the session.
I am. Listen. Oh, we're overtime. I was going to tell you how many minutes we got left. Oh no, 8.
An 8.
They do it, but you get to choose a
They
consequence.
stall and dither a while. I feel like you already did that.
I think that sounds like a very reasonable request, Mr. Whatever your
Theodore.
name was, Theodore. Maybe you all should get a little something to drink and eat and get some rest, and then we'll see maybe in the morning if we can recruit a proper posse, and then we can head on up there in force. And I think on that, we'll go ahead and end, as we do perhaps have a plan for next time around. And I can tell you right off the bat, I have already failed to keep this to a single story per session.
I had an idea, Jeff. Your standard TV mystery episode. It goes for 15 minutes. Commercial break, another 15 minutes.
Okay.
One session is the first half of the episode. We go to commercial.
Okay.
And then we come back for the second session.
Okay.
To finish off the episode.
I was thinking it's the pilot episode, so maybe it's like
It's
a
pilot
two-parter.
episode.
Pilots are always longer. Yeah, that's true.
So
Those are
kinda how I was
hours.
going with that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And okay, yeah, it was the first time running it, so I don't know. I'm doing half step. All right, because like for hours I was wondering, like, wait, I was going to attack with them. Oh wait, no, I don't roll to attack because it's like a reaction thing. I only do harm. I automatically do harm if you guys don't interrupt it, which you guys did. So like someone went, like Caleb went and tackled the thing off Corbin, and you know, and then Corbin shot the thing that was about to hit Anton. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that part. Anyhow. That is it. First session in the books. The first real session in the books.
Yeah, we did it.
You guys know what the monster is? You guys know what the monster is?
Chupacabra.
Yeah, it's Chupacabra. I mean, obviously with some tweaks, but that's the basis for it. But yeah, that's the basis for it. So I was talking about that with one of my students the other day. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep doing the Chupacabra stuff. Just keep doing it. Yeah,
That's
it works out.
I said this in chat. I completely forgot that Adam had rolled a zombie at the beginning. I was like scratching my head. I was like, oh, right, he's a zombie.
Well, that's the important part. We don't acknowledge.
Stoner,
exactly.
even though he never smokes pot.
So the end of session experience questions.
Oh,
did they
don't forget
conclude?
we're supposed to mark whenever you
When you
fail
miss.
roll to, or do
Yeah, I
a miss.
missed
Yes.
twice.
You never did
I
miss
only
a
remembered
mark.
once.
If you rolled it, you should be able to track it. So the other end of session questions were: Did you conclude the current mystery? No. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
no.
I mean, they
don't
were
think
already
so.
dead.
Did we learn something new and important about the world? Think so.
Because chupacabras.
There are
Chupacabras.
alien chupacabras, and Harry S. Truman spent some time on the dark side of the moon.
He did. He did.
And did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? Did we do that?
I don't know.
I learned that Corbin does his thing in the toilet. That was something I did not
That
know.
is not what I
that's
was
fair.
expecting. Error all the time. I've been worrying about his fiber intake, and that's not what it is.
And then,
I learned I learned just through experimenting that I'm totally brain dead until I have human food. And then
Gotcha.
I become active, but that's just kind of a thing that I
Human
was coming up
food.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The other question from the Codex of Worlds for our for our Always on the Road. You guys picked excitement. So at the end of each session, asked, did we take extremely dangerous risks? You guys think you took extremely dangerous risks?
That's as extreme that I think of. I think we followed.
If
we
I
investigated.
Had less than a 10 on my fire spell, I would have set the town, or at least a small portion of it, on fire.
Yeah.
So I know I did. I didn't care.
Okay. I mean, we went into the safety of the building instead of going and fighting all of the mobs.
We followed the
dangerous risk would have been to turn and be like, all right, Chupas, let's
go.
Yeah.
Hold one of the carcass up and just hold the gun to it.
Yes.
We thought that was going to be a slam dunk XP every session. Look at us. We got to step our game up next session.
I've been getting messages from everyone watching saying that.
Oh yeah, I got 3 experience too. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with 3 experience, but I got them.
That is it. I think let's go ahead and do some closing plugs and stuff like that. So, Chuck, what's going on with DOK this week, man?
Defenders of Cobalt, twitch.tv/ whatever it is. Wednesday, we got Dungeon Crawl Classics, Night Below. Jeremy and Bert are hanging out for that. Friday, Joe is making his own damn game called Anvia. And he's running a test campaign. So come watch us break Joe's game every Friday night. And that's DOK at large.
Fantastic. Bert, what's going on with Steam Steel and Murder?
Well, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we are running Werewolf 20th Anniversary Edition as opposed to Jeff's 5th edition version. This will be our 3rd session and what's shaping up to be a very fun chronicle. Friday, we've got some classic Dungeons and Dragons, BX, Basic Expert Dungeons and Dragons. This Saturday is Cyberpunk Red. And this Sunday, I think, we're doing something not streamed and doing some play testing of the next Weird Frontiers module.
All right. Very, very cool. Jeremy, you got a Patreon you want to tell us about?
Sure. Aaron Reese on Patreon. You've got comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff. Check it out.
Very nice. And Adam, and Adam, what about Grim and Perilous, man?
Well, we've got an awful lot going on. We're refocusing on our Patreon as well. It's patreon.com/Grim and Perilous. If you want to catch the exclusive Heart campaign that we're running right now, you can catch it on there. And then if you want to catch our official 2nd Radiator campaign, we finished the first one. We're almost done with development completely. And so we started another one. So if you want to check that out, see what we've been making for the past few years, you can sign up for the Patreon.
Awesome, man. And let's see. For us, we have a lot going on too. My brain's going to burst. Tomorrow night, we are premiering our... Well, actually, it's actually not to premiere because that was last week. The new Marvel game, Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing. Steven's running that. Last week, we played existing X-Men characters to sort of kind of get us started. And then tomorrow, we introduce our actual characters that we built, and we're going to be playing our Schools Out campaign. Thursday, as Bert has already alluded to, I'm also running a werewolf game. We are doing the new version 5. You can see myself and Melissa and Jeremy in that one, where I almost bit Jeremy's ass off again, which is very, very fun. Then Friday, Aaron is running some Conan for us. It's going to be the finale for now of our Hyborian Tales before we jump into a new game, which we'll talk about on Friday, I'm sure. And then Saturday, we've got One Ring, and we are very, very new. Then I think it's probably going to be the second to last episode, so of our very lengthy campaign. And then next Monday, we've got some Fragged Empire, as this Monster of the Week is going to alternate every Mondays with Fragged Empire, our sci-fi game. You can see a lot of the same faces from this game and that one, and a few others as well. And that's what we got going on. Hopefully, there's something that we do that you enjoy. And if there isn't, well, damn it, your standards are too high, because that's a lot of games. And I really think that your standards are too high. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, hopefully you followed the channel, you followed Chuck's channel, you followed Steam Still Murder, and you followed Grim and Perilous, and you find us all on YouTube as well. Have a great night. We're going to go ahead and raid Lost Caravan RPG. Our buddies over there. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.